the next debut with a new club, the Lakers for LeBron. We look back at debuts of the past. Not bad, 2003, I would say. 25 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds. Look how young he was.
Wow, just amazing that 15 years have gone by. He's gotten better and better. And this past year, arguably could be his best year ever.
31 points in the debut with the Heat. Certainly not scared about making a good first impression. How about the Cleveland debut in 2014? Part 2 in Cleveland. 17 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. But he got the championship, so he doesn't care about the debut.
No, he doesn't.
Going to take longer to get the championship here, though, right?
No question about it. We know the young talent's there. How long does it take for them to adjust? Say it again, fans. It will take in a period for these guys to adjust to LeBron James. LeBron's not adjusting to them. They have to adjust to him. And once they do that, along with Luke Walton, things will get better in Lakerland.
You think Jack getting his outfits ready, knowing now that he's going to be back on national TV all the time?
Like, go LeBron.
Oh, boy. We'll be back on Friday to
Sorry.
unleash the rest of the schedule. We're hiding it in the back in an envelope.
It's back there?
Yeah, it's back there.
We'll go see if I can find that thing.
See ya. Bye, DZ. Welcome inside our studios here at NBA TV. We are getting you ready for the season. The schedule begins to be released. The unveiling, Casey Stern, 3D, who's unveiling a little scruff. We're getting the beard back.
Little scruff. Are we talking about NBA?
NBA.
Already?
Yes.
Still?
Yes.
Oh, let's talk about it.
You know, it's like Christmas. Because we're going to talk about Christmas.
Yes.
Get ready for your shopping. Let's take a look at the Kia Tip-Off 2018, starting with NBA on TNT Premier Week, presented by Auto Trader. You gotta look at, first of all, that matchup at the top. No LeBron in the East now, DC.
Yeah, the East wide open. The Sixers ready to take that next step, made a few moves. If you're a Celtics fan, you're getting healthier, and you're super excited about the Eastern Conference.
Lakers in Portland. Lakers always interesting. Now the LeBron era begins.
Yeah, even Nike's happy to get LeBron on opening night. They like that. Yeah.
I would think, hey, we're happy to get LeBron any night. I have a feeling we'll be here till 4 in the morning every night on GameTime. Let's take a look at what's going on from the TNT side to opening week on ESPN. A lot of changes with the Rockets. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. But don't forget the Raptors are still in the East. And on Friday, they'll try and stake their claim still to that 1-seed possibility against the Celtics.
That's going to be extremely exciting. How you talk about the Warriors, even the Jazz. Are the Jazz ready to improve? Donovan Mitchell, great rookie year now. What does he do in season 2?
LeBron's home debut. More actual people or Hollywood stars in the crowd?
Hollywood. The stars are coming out for that one.
Rockets and Lakers on ESPN. Jeff Van Gundy will join us to talk about that in just a little bit. And we are busy here as well. Opening week on NBA TV, Saturday, October 20th. The Wiz. Last year, they'd like to forget it happened, get back on their feet. They're looking for bigger, better things. They got a bigger, better thing at center now with Dwight coming on board.
That's right. Now, will he bring his A game like he showed us before would be the biggest thing with he and John Wall?
Well, I'll tell you what, John Wall, we know where he'll be. He'll be at the point. For the Clippers, they've got from a new point guard to a new team. They still have, though, Doc telling us in Summer League he thinks this could be a playoff team this year. They're surprised.
And the reason Doc feels that way, Casey, you're bringing back a lot of talent. Guys were hurt last year. Guys with new opportunity. Could be very interesting for the Clippers.
Well, it's always interesting when we get a chance to talk about the opening week schedule, and because we get a chance to talk about Christmas as well.
Oh, well,
you know, and we go shopping for some Christmas. Now, if you actually had plans on Christmas, you should cancel them, because you'll notice here on this list, ABC, 8 p.m., Golden State hosting LeBron and the Lakers. LeBron's met this team many times, but now we'll be on the road. That's twice in just a few days, nationally televised, Lakers and Warriors, this one in Golden State.
Well, make sure you get the kids up early, open up your gifts, put the toys together, and get in front of your TV, because it's going to be a fun day of basketball.
And it will be a fun day. Knicks, Bucks.
Oh,
come on now.
Come on.
You know I got to get
Greek
into
freak,
that.
yes,
come on.
Greek freak.
JVG's going to join us a little. What do you mean Greek freak? Come on, Kevin Knox.
All right, come on, Greek freak. Kevin Knox.
The Kevin Knox show. And don't forget, speaking of shows, Donovan Mitchell, not going to come and surprise anybody now. 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, closing out that slate of Christmas Day games on ESPN and on ABC. DZ, MLK Day. How about this one?
Ooh.
Look at the bottom. Can we get enough? Do you think Do you think we'll get to see the Warriors play the Lakers this year?
Maybe a couple times. That's going to be must-see TV every time you look at the schedule. Even with the Pels and the Grizz, you know, all new faces going there, see if they can keep things going. But the Rockets on the road with the Sixers to be juicy as well.
And I like Capella, right? The new deal. He gets the chance to try and slow down Embiid. And Ben Simmons here for another year. And I think one of the things you look at when you start to see these matchups in the schedules is I love when you get to see familiar faces in their new places. When LeBron showed up at Summer League, even in Lakers shorts, people were freaking out.
Well, they had on those purple shoes, too.
Yes,
Remember, it went viral.
You would notice that.
Of course, I have noticed that. But to your point, that's what makes this season already exciting because so many players going to new teams. Now, how will they play?
All right, we know how we'll play this. We get a chance to welcome in our own Charles Barkley, who joins us via telephone from an undisclosed location to talk about this opening week, Christmas. We roll out a lot of LeBron. Chuck, do you think you'll be able to cover enough LeBron against the Warriors during the course of this season?
I'm, you know, between the last 6 months, I'm LeBron'd out right now. But, you know, the Lakers going to have a good, solid team. I think they're going to battle for a playoff spot. But they're not a contender. Let's be realistic. They're not a contender. But, you know, he's the best player in the world, and we're going to show him a lot.
And, Charles, we know Philadelphia has a soft spot in your heart. Do you think that now Embiid and Ben Simmons and a few moves they've made, are they ready to take another step in the Eastern Conference now that LeBron's out of the Eastern Conference?
Well, I think it's a three-team race in the East between Toronto, Boston, and Philadelphia. You know, obviously Embiid and Simmons are terrific. The key is going to be Markelle Fultz, whether he can play or not. I mean, he's the key. I love them going out and getting Wilson Chandler. I think that's an upgrade. But it's going to come down to Markelle Fultz. What's going to be fascinating, the two things is Kawhi Leonard invested in Toronto? Because if he's invested, they're just as good as everybody else. I think that's a big question. And secondly, the Celtics. I think the Celtics, it's going to be interesting watching that team play because people, they just assume they're getting two all-stars back. Like it's just going to all fit together. Let me tell you something. I saw Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum play. They're not going to sit around and watch Kyrie and Gordon Hayward shoot the ball every time. Those two young kids are terrific. And anybody who think they just going to say, hey, Kyrie and Gordon, y'all shoot all the shots and we'll just stand around, that to me is going to be very fun to watch.
Chuck, speaking of pieces all fitting together, the Thunder at the Warriors, second part of that double dip. Last year at this time, I remember when we rolled out the schedule, we were all talking about that new big three. Melo now verbally agrees, moves on to Houston. But I think a surprise to a lot of people was the fact that Paul George was loyal to Oklahoma City, didn't go to the Lakers, didn't go back home. How about this team? Maybe because of Melo, maybe not, but can they be a better version of the new look Thunder this year?
I think they're the sleeper in the Western Conference. I think they're going to be much better. That's like if you go back and play our interviews from last year, I didn't think that big three was going to work. I didn't think it was going to work at all. I think they're going to be a much better team. I think they don't have to answer the questions about Paul George. So now their big three is Paul, Russell, and Steven Adams. I love the addition of Schroeder. I think he's a good backup point guard. I think he's going to help them. Also, they got Nerlens Noel. I think he's going to help them. So to me, I think Oklahoma City might be the second best team in the Western Conference.
And sticking with the West, Chuck, do we think this year the Warriors could be a little complacent? Yes, they're bringing in Boogie Cousins. Take his time. Don't have to worry about playing to the playoffs. But do you go for a little complacent now? You've been to the mountaintop so many times in a row.
Well, I think, number one, I don't think they will because they're just better than everybody else. Because, you know, number one, if they don't win, he's going to get the blame. But also, he wants a big contract. So I think it was a great addition at a minimal risk. I can't believe some other teams didn't take a chance on him for like $5 million. I know that's a lot of money, but that's chump change in NBA circles. I mean, a lot of teams should have taken him at that price because he's going to have to play well. I mean, he wants a big contract. And, you know, being around that organization, I think it's going to be great for his maturity. But listen, the Warriors are just better than everybody else. Listen, the Rockets, to me, took a step backwards losing Trevor Ariza. I think Trevor Ariza is one of the most underrated players in the league. So I really think they take a step back. But listen, my sleeper team in the West is probably going to be Oklahoma City. I think going to be much better this year.
Charles, I know you were very high on the Raptors. I guess two-part. A, have you apologized to the city of Toronto, which I know you love, for jinxing them? And B, do they maybe go under the radar? Are they still you hate to call a number one seed a sleeper, but because of all the attention Boston and Philly are getting with LeBron out of the conference, Kawhi comes over. Is Toronto maybe not getting enough credit right now?
Well, everybody's going to automatically give the Celtics the number one seed in the Eastern Conference because, listen, first of all, they are loaded. But like I say, it ain't going to be easy to fit all those players together. But Toronto, to me, listen, I think that's they got a really good team. They had the best bench in the NBA last year. I think they're going to miss Jacob Poeltl because he was terrific. But getting Kawhi and Danny Green, I think they're better. But also, I think the Spurs are better. I think getting DeMar DeRozan and Poeltl, that to me is another team that's going to be a sleeper. You plug in an all-star and a really good bench player to a team that made it to the playoffs last year. Coach Popovich is going to want to prove something, so that team's going to be pretty good. I mean, the West is loaded.
You've been hanging out with Shaq enough, Chuck, that you called him Jacob Poeltl? You mean Jakob Poeltl?
You know what I meant. You know what I meant, fool.
We got you back, Chuck. We got you back, buddy. We got you.
Who he play for?
There we go. We're in summertime for him, Chuck. We're in summertime for him.
Enjoy the rest of your summer, man. Good to catch up with you for a couple. We'll see you here in October, okay?
Okay, my brother. Hey, man, you guys keep up the great work. You guys do a fantastic job. And also, Casey, I see you haven't grown over the summer.
I see you haven't shrunk in the summer. Bye, Chuck.
Correct.
Come on, it's summertime, guys. Behave.
We're
it's
mid-season
summertime.
form. Here's Charles Barkley. Jeff Van Gundy will join us next and hopefully be a lot nicer. Certainly a lot slimmer. We continue on NBA TV, unveiling the schedule.